Thanks for logging on to myfoxhurricane.com. So we have these three different areas that we're still watching. We've got Hurricane Lee, we have Hurricane Margot, and then we have this Invest 97, which is really right on the cusp of becoming our next tropical system. Next name on the list, by the way, is Nigel. It looks like it'll be working its way pretty much into the middle of the Atlantic. So we'll talk quickly about Hurricane Margot because really no concerns with this. Right now, winds are at 80 miles an hour, but watch this forecast track as we go through the next several days, just basically doing loops out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and slowly weakening as we head into next week. So no concerns with that. Hurricane Lee, still a very powerful hurricane. It's a Category 2 hurricane. But as you look at this, you can tell just by a couple of days ago, it doesn't look the same. We're seeing more and more of that wind shear working its way over the system, some dry air wrapping into this. So as time's gone on, you're just not seeing that well-defined eye anymore. Very hard to find that. And you can see it right through here. That's that dry air getting in there. And then with all these clouds racing on to the north, that's that stronger wind shear that is working its way over the system. In fact, as we overlay the wind shear on top of the satellite, you look up here, those darker shades, that orange and red, that's that stronger winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And that will really help to aid this system in, number one, weakening, and then just starting making more of that transition into an extra tropical system as Lee starts to really interact with this trough. So over the, say, about the next, it's probably starting tomorrow, and then over the next 24 to 36, maybe 48 hours, it will make that transition into what we call an extratropical system, which is just really it's deriving its energy in a different way. It's not getting it from the warm sea surface temperatures, but still, as it works its way to the north, it's still going to be a dangerous system. It's still going to cause all kinds of issues. And really, as it weakens and transitions, it will quite likely start to expand as far as the wind field with this. Right now, hurricane force winds, they extend out about 90 miles from the center, and then those tropical storm force winds, they extend out over 300 miles from the center. So this is a big hurricane right now and is likely to get even a little bit bigger as it works its way to the north. So right now, winds are at 90 miles an hour, moving to the north at 14 miles an hour. It'll work its way to the north, and I got to tell you, the models have been really very good with this system over the past several days. Excellent consensus among the models on exactly where this would be working its way. Really, the only thing that we were looking at was the timing when this would be making landfall. And over the past 24 hours or so, we're seeing more and more consensus among all the models on that as well. So far, the models have been handling Lee very, very well. So you've got those watches and warnings basically all along the coastline of Maine with a hurricane watch. You've got the tropical storm warning across southeastern Massachusetts, down towards Martha's Vineyard, Cape Cod, just kind of sticking out so closer to the center. This is also going to be a real area of concern as those winds wrap around this system for that storm surge along the coastline being pushed into that bay. So here we are with the European, the GFS, and the Fox model, tightly clustered. We've been talking about this for a number of days, just how well the models have been doing. And you see, they're basically all within about an hour of making landfall. So excellent agreement, not only on the track, but that forward motion of this system as well. Then you look at the winds with this. You can see how large this is. You've got those winds along the Carolina coastline coming out of the north and the northeast. Some pretty gusty winds that's going to cause some large swells and waves along the coastline from the Carolinas all the way up. And then remember, winds wrapping around. You've got that wind blowing right into that bay, Cape Cod Bay, and that will likely cause some severe flooding in that area as well. And then as it works its way on shore along the Maine coastline and then up towards Nova Scotia. So still a lot to happen with this very dangerous system. We're going to continue to watch it for you right here on myfoxhurricane.com.